Hi everyone, welcome to the course Inside Chinese Culture. In this session, we will talk about Peking Opera, including its origin, the 4 performing techniques, musical instruments, the 4 roles, and traditional repertoire. Whether you like it or not, I believe you have watched Peking Opera. Peking Opera is regarded as China's national opera and is the most popular and widespread opera in the country. It assumed its present form about 200 years ago in Beijing, and was developed and improved by masters of the performing arts for many generations before it reached maturity and perfection. It is considered a superb art form, famous for its great artistic skill in singing, dancing, and martial arts. Peking Opera is the most representative of all Chinese traditional dramatic art forms. First, the origin of Peking Opera. Peking Opera takes its name from the city of Beijing, where it developed. But it is generally believed that Peking Opera evolved from several ancient local operas. In 1790, in celebration of Emperor Qianlong's 80th birthday, the Sanqing Anhui Opera Troupe moved from Anhui Province to Beijing to perform. Later, 3 more Anhui opera troupes, the Sixi, Chuntai, Hechun troupes, also came to perform in Beijing. Together with Sanqing, they were referred to as the 4 Anhui opera troupes. Each troupe had its own characteristic way of performing. The troupes and the Han opera performers from Hubei had a mutual influence on one another. The performers also borrowed some plays, melodies, and performing techniques from Kunqu and Shanxi opera, gradually developing into what is now Peking Opera. Peking Opera presents dramatic plays and figures, mainly by infusing the 4 performing techniques: singing, dialogue, dancing, and martial art. Singing, which is accompanied by string and percussion instruments, follows a fixed pattern but has a variety of melodies and rhythms. Singing is utilized to intensify the appeal of the art by all kinds of tones. Dialogue is the complement of singing, which is full of musical and rhythmic sensation. Dialogues and monologues are recited in Beijing dialect, and some of the words are pronounced in a special fashion unique to the opera. Dancing refers to the well-established body movements, such as smoothing a beard or adjusting a hat to express certain emotions and meaning. The hands and body trembling all over indicates extreme anger, and the flickering of a sleeve expresses disgust. Covering face with one sleeve means embarrassment. Holding a whip indicates an actor is galloping on a horse. An actor circling the stage suggests a long journey. Martial art refers to the acrobatic fighting, which combines traditional Chinese martial art with dances. Now, the musical instruments in Peking Opera. The music of Peking Opera mainly involves 2 orchestras. One is string and wind instruments that accompany the singing with a variety of melodies. The other is percussion instruments that provide a strongly rhythmic accompaniment. Among the string instruments, jinghu, a small 2-stringed bowed instrument, is the backbone of the orchestra, supporting by erhu, a 2-stringed Beijing fiddle, yueqin, a 4-stringed moon-shaped Chinese mandolin, and sanxian, a 3-stringed plucked instrument. Occasionally, wind instruments are also used, such as flute and sona horn. The other orchestra comprises percussion instruments, such as the drum, 鼓, bamboo clappers, 板, gong, 锣, and cymbal, 钵. The orchestras are led by a drummer who uses bamboo sticks to create very powerful sounds, sometimes loud, sometimes soft, sometimes strong and exciting, sometimes faint and sentimental, and bring out the emotions of the characters in coordination with the acting of the performers. Next comes the 4 roles in Peking Opera. The character roles in Peking Opera are classified according to gender, personality, age, profession, and social status. There are 4 types of roles in Peking Opera today, namely the Sheng, male roles, Dan, female roles, Jing, painted face, Chou, clown. They are further classified by age and profession. Sheng and male roles can be divided into 3 categories. 老生 refers to the middle-aged man with a beard who acts as a decent figure. 小生 is a young man, and 武生 is a martial arts expert. Dan or female roles include 正旦, 花旦, 老旦, 刀马旦, 武旦, etc. 正旦 is also called 青衣, who mainly plays the part of a strong-minded, middle-aged woman who behaves elegantly. 花旦 refers to a young, lively girl, and 老旦 is a senior woman. 刀马旦 is a brave female warrior, and 武旦 is good at martial arts skills. In Peking operas, some female roles are played by males. Historically, it was not socially appropriate for females to perform in public. Besides, men have greater strength to be capable of the high-pitched singing. They not only have to do the correct facial painting and wear female clothing, but more importantly, their singing must sound like females. Hence, they need to train their voices every day. The 4 famous dances, 梅兰芳, 程砚秋, 尚小云, and 荀慧生, are well known at home and abroad. They are experts in performing the roles of Dan, and each has his own artistic feature. Their wonderful performances are still appreciated by the audience, such as Farewell, My Cucumber, 霸王别姬 by 梅兰芳, Injustice to 窦娥冤 by 程砚秋, Lady Zhao Jun Going Beyond the Great Wall, 招金出塞 by 尚小云, and Matchmaker by 荀慧生. 梅兰芳, as the most renowned one among the 4 famous dances, had made prominent contribution to the popularization and improvement of Chinese Peking opera. He was brave in conducting reforms and innovations in numerous areas such as music, costume, performance, and dance. May was the first to introduce erhu to the Peking Opera Orchestra. Today, erhu has become one of the main orchestral instruments used to accompany Peking opera. May's other stage innovations include changes in hairstyles and costume colors. 梅兰芳 created the May School of Peking Opera with unique performing mode and area by assimilating the performance of 青衣, 花旦, 刀马旦, and other roles. In this way, he upgraded the art of Peking opera to a higher level and made May School the most influential one in China. May was also the first to introduce Peking opera to foreign countries. May visited Japan on 3 occasions with his troupe, where during the first visit in 1919, he was praised as an outstanding performer of the Oriental arts. In 1929, May and his troupe toured the United States and met with the famous motion picture actor Charles Chaplin. May's performances were truly a great success. In 1935, May introduced the Peking Opera to the Soviet Union. Even in his 60s, May could still summon up the strength to play a female warrior. In 1959, just 2 years before his death due to heart problems, May added one last piece to his extensive repertoire, Mu Guiying Takes Command. Jing or painted face roles are always played by frank and open-minded men with brightly colored faces. By using transformative and exaggerated figures, experienced audience would easily tell the characteristic of a role. So it is called the picture of hearts. There are certain formats of the facial painting in terms of color, type, and shape. Usually, eyes, forehead, and cheeks are painted like wings of butterflies, swallows, and bats. The color of their made-up faces indicate their characters and personality. Red indicates uprightness and loyalty. White is craftiness and cunning. Blue indicates a vigorous, courageous, and enterprising nature, while yellow means an intelligent character, but a less extroverted one. Black shows a sound and honest character, and purple is a symbol of integrity. Gold and silver represent mystic or supernatural things. Chou or clown rows are marked by a patch of white on the ridge of the nose. This character is sometimes positive, kind-hearted, and humorous, but sometimes negative, crafty, malicious, or silly. Each role has its fixed singing and acting styles. We now come to the traditional repertoire of Peking Opera. The traditional repertoire includes historical plays, comedies, and tragedies. Many historical events and stories in classic literature are adapted into Peking Opera plays, such as 空城计, The Empty City Rules, which describes how Zhuge Liang, the Shu strategist, defeated the Wei general Sima Yi with clever devices. 群英会, Gathering of Heroes, which tells how the Wu and Shu forces broke through the Wei forces at Chibi on the Yangtze River. 打渔杀家, The Fisherman's Revenge, in which the hero Xiaowen kills the corrupt official. 十字坡, At the Crossroads, depicting a female innkeeper fighting with Wu Song in the dark. And 闹天宫, Havoc in Heaven, in which the Monkey King eats the sacred peaches at the imperial palace, then defeats heavenly forces. Okay, in this session, we have talked about the origin, the techniques, the musical instrument, the roles, and traditional repertoire of Peking Opera. I hope this information can bring you closer to this treasure of Chinese culture. See you next time.